All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this very special sneak peek at the VectorVest's Tampa 2-day investment seminar and live stream. Hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear. And if somebody could let me know, that's always a good thing. But I'm going to assume the best for now. So welcome again to this webcast. My name is Steve Chappell. I'm the Director of Trading Systems Development here at VectorVest. Delighted to be your host for the next, I'd say, 30 minutes or so. Pretty quick one today, as we're just going to give you a sneak peek at what is in store. And I know the holidays are in full tilt when we start talking about Tampa and gearing up for 2022. Yet again, another year maybe good to get out of, and all the optimism heading towards next year. And we'll see if we can't make 2022 the best year yet. So anyway, I'm just so delighted so many of you have taken time out of your busy schedules to be here with us today. And we're obviously excited about this opportunity that you're going to have to join us in Tampa, whether it be in person or via live stream. So a couple of things to throw out there right out of the gate. That is, as mentioned, this will be both live, in person, if you will, or live streamed. So you can either attend at the venue itself in Tampa, or you can attend from the comfort of your own home. All of the presentations are going to be recorded. So every person that attends, whether it's in person or live stream, will also receive a free recording with a registration. So, and you'll have access to those recordings for about a year's time. So just bear that in mind. Also, there is a special price at the end of the webcast today. So if you stick around, you'll get the best price possible. All right, so let's get rolling. All right, so at the end of the day, what do we all want? Well, financial freedom, right? I mean, that's what everybody wants. The ability to do what you want, when you please, when you need to, and even in retirement, right? So that's a single goal I think all of us have. And what it amounts to is the ability for us to start getting consistent gains. So we need the ability to build and manage a portfolio that makes more money month after month after month, year after year after year. And, we want to put one together that outperforms the market, or else why not just buy the S&P, as an example, right? So there's a problem, though. And that problem is knowing the difference between data and useful information. I think it's a big problem these days, as more and more data is being thrown at people at breakneck speed with the advent of computers and the internet and social media and the emails that you get in your inbox. You sign up for one newsletter and you might as well have signed up for 200. And before you know it, you're just swimming in ideas and data. And what's lacking is knowing or being able to decipher what is really the useful data that you're receiving. And so that's where VectorVest actually really shines, is cutting through all of the fluff to get to the core data that really matters. And so this 2-day event is going to be catered really all exclusively around that. There's going to be inevitably a few different plans that we discuss that you can deploy based on the useful information that we provide. Some of you are going to be more aggressive. Some of you are going to be more retirement minded. And we're going to break that down as we get a little deeper into this webcast. But at the end of the day, we got to know what we need to use to get the job done, right? So just to break the ice, what's been the most difficult part of investing for you guys over the years? It's always interesting for us to, of course, see the answers here. And in some ways, we might then be able to cater this webcast a bit towards, the attendees and who's actually in the seats right now. So I'll give you a minute or so just to put some of your ideas in, and then we'll continue on. All right, well, the overwhelming response, and I would say it's typical, is knowing when to sell. So that is going to be a part of the seminar, to be sure. In fact, you're going to see a variety of ways in which to get that job done, and it's going to depend upon who you are as an investor or trader and what path ultimately you decide to follow. And so we'll try to make note of that as we go through the remainder of this webcast for you, okay? So let's get to it. Ultimately, what we need to do is avoid the big mistake. And I'm afraid the big mistake can really rear its head on the back of a year like we had last year in 2020, where, let's face it, you could have done just about everything wrong and made money. And so you sort of begin to fall into a trap of not really having a plan, or not having a plan at all, and not throw out the word really. Not having a plan is the big mistake. You just can't be successful year in and year out in the stock market if you don't have a plan. Now, the good news is the plan doesn't have to be complicated. It can be very simple, and it rather should be. I found the simpler, 6-7 line investment plans tend to outperform the 37 or 370 line investment plans. One, it's easier to stick to it and follow it, and two, you're not getting mired down in all the edge cases that you're trying to avoid. It's all Pareto's law. You want to get 80% of the result with 20% of the effort. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Okay, so let's get to it. We're going to start talking about the fix. So the fix, of course, then is to have a simple proven plan. The key word there being proven. And so everything that we'll be talking about in this 2-day investment workshop are things that have stood the test of time. We've been teaching this course. Well, me personally, I've been there 18 of the last 20 years. And 20 years ago, in January, will have been my first 2-day. And so, it's we're going to be talking about all the same stuff that we always have, but we always sweeten the pot a bit with some of our, latest revelations. So, revelations rather. So, just like anybody, we get better over the course of time too, right? So people keep coming to the 2-day every year because inevitably you're going to learn something new, a new fresh take, and one that can really move the needle a bit more for you. So I did find it interesting. It was about, maybe a dozen years ago or so at this point, I finally asked somebody that was coming. I said, gee whiz, I see you sitting in that front row on that end seat every single year we come. Why do you keep coming back? You should know everything that VectorVest's has to offer at this point. They said, well, Steve, sometimes I just need to remember the things you taught me last year. And, you always teach us a few things that we haven't been taught before. And so all of that is true. It's a great place to kind of revitalize and resurrect some of the things that you should already know, along with the ability to capitalize on the new things that we're going to be talking about. So I'll try to make a point of that as we go through as well. But ultimately, it's going to amount to needing the right tools for the job. People that are going to want a more retirement-minded approach are going to use a far different tool set than those that are going to be more aggressive. And so we'll be pointing out a lot of the tools that are going to be quite useful as we go through this course as well, based upon investment style or methodology. Okay, you're going to have a great team there. I think this is going to be by far the largest team we've ever had, which is good because you're going to get a lot of different takes in terms of personalities. The content's always the content, but sometimes the personalities help to make the show for a lot of folks. You're going to have a lot of diversity in terms of style and things of that nature. But let me just tell you a quick rundown of who's going to be there. So we are going to have all of our international directors present. One in particular is even going to be, hopefully, with this new COVID variant, we'll see how things go. But hopefully, Dr. David Paul is going to be flying across the pond, as he would say, over here to the States, and he's going to be on premises with us. So for those that attend live, he'll be there in person, and you'd be able to mingle with him at the breaks and the lunches and things of that nature. But all of the other international directors will also be presenting via the live stream and ultimately to the collective audience. And so you're going to have Susan Hayes over there from Europe. You'll have Stan Heller from Canada, Russell Markham from Australia. Here from the United States, just going through the speakers, I think there'll be some additional staff there as well. Up the ladder at the top echelon of the company chain, if you will. But as far as speakers go, Glenn Tompkins will be there. And it's been a little while since Glenn's been to the 2 days, so we're glad to have him aboard. And obviously, if you've ever heard Glenn speak, he's a lot of fun. And people really enjoy listening to him talk. Jim Penn is going to be there from Retirement Services. Jerry D'Ambrosio is going to be there from the swing trading coaching side of the business here at VectorVest. Ron Wheeler is going to be there to do some of the option, well, all of the option presentations, and myself. So it's going to be hopefully a very, very good crew. You basically got us all, if you want to know the truth. There's a couple that aren't going to be able to make it, but you basically got all of us there. It's going to be great. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the 2-day event. Try to help you make some decisions. Remember, I can't really teach you technique in this webcast. I'm just going to be trying to give you a sense of what the experience will be like. But it is going to be 2 days. It is 2 full days, let me tell you. You're going to want to get into the easy chair that evening and recharge and get ready for the next day. We're going to give you the business a little bit, run you through the ringer. But don't let that scare you. I mean, it's just a lot of great content. And I want you to know that if you sign up for this, you're going to get your money's worth. I can promise you that. You're going to get your money's worth the first morning, if not just the first talk. But anyway, January 7th and 8th, it's going to be at Tampa Airport Marriott. Easy location to get in and out of. So if you're somebody that wants to come in person, I will tell you this. There's only about a dozen seats left. With the COVID situation, we are restricting the live attendance a little bit just to try to keep everybody spaced out a little bit, and be socially aware of all of that. So there's last I checked, there was 12 seats left. And so there could be 11 now. Yeah, I don't know. You always have stragglers ordering. So if you're going to want to go in person, now's the time to do it. Do not delay any further. Okay. Now we can take as many live stream people as sign up. And so you're not going to miss it one way or the other. You're going to get a chance to get the content. Okay. So in terms of day one though, or the morning, we'll start there. For those that are live, we do provide breakfast and lunches. On the first day, there's also a cocktail reception we'll get to here in a minute. So you're going to get your fill. And really, the cost of admission is essentially paying for that and the room rental and the AV and all. We really treat you well. On top of that, the information you receive is even better. So this first morning is dedicated to what we call successful investing. What we did in terms of organizing the course this year that's different from years past is we put everything that's pertinent to one specific type of investor that we cater to. We put it all in a section, all in a morning or an afternoon. So morning day one is all about how to become a successful investor using grassroots VectorVest. VectorVest, the way we've been presenting it for the last 25 years, plus. And that is, you're going to learn all you need to know about buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price in a rising market. And so the first talk there is really going to break down the VectorVest system. It's going to go through all of our proprietary indicators and make sure that you have a comprehensive understanding of them so that if even you just glance at a list of stocks that you're interested in, you'll be able to, in less than a couple of minutes, I would say less than 30 seconds, once you get really good, you'll be able to kind of hone in on the 1 or 2 stocks you really want to take a strong look at very quickly. Same thing I would say in terms of stocks that you currently own. Very quickly, you're going to learn how you can weed the garden, get rid of the poor performers, and get the better performers into that portfolio seamlessly and super simply. So I think that's going to be great, particularly for our new folks, is this morning day one. And that's where you ought to start. That's the first building block, when you're putting the pyramid together, right? It's one of the cornerstones there. So heavy dose of the VectorVest system early on. Then we get into market timing. We break it down even by investment temperament. We break down all the signals. We cover all the rules. We show you how successful they've been. And make sure that you are acutely aware of which one you should be thinking about favoring. Okay. After that break, we're gonna after that presentation, we get into the actual technique itself of combining all of that together. Okay. So how to become a successful investor is then the methodology of how to use this information that you learned in those first 2 presentations and use it to be successful. So this is just a snapshot of we eat our own cooking, if you will. And that is, this is the stock performance using the same methodology for this year that we have experienced, doing it in real time with real executions, using the same tools and the same information we presented that morning. Okay. And this is the kind of experience we have year in and year out. Roughly 15% or so is what we feel comfortable saying you can make on a year in, year out basis. Now, that might not sound awe-inspiring on the back of seeing many stocks in 2020 go up hundreds of percent, but you got to realize that that was a buying opportunity of a lifetime. Those days have come and gone until there's another major bottom, you know? And what I can tell you here is this is the year in, year out kind of expected return based upon what we teach in that core curriculum. On the afternoon of day 2, we get a little bit more specialized and we ramp it up a little bit, because what we're going to do is we're still going to use that building block of safe stocks, but what we're going to do is provide some further additional revenue or income coming in by way of both dividend and option income to really supercharge the returns on these really great safe stocks that you're going to have in your portfolio. And so all these presentations are really built around that, particularly the first 2. I will go more in depth on that even on the situational investing presentation. We're going to show you how Profit Locker Pro can really move the needle for you even with these high relative safety stocks. We'll also go into recognizing what the market is doing and implementing tactics that are consistent with the current market behavior. So we'll get you more acutely aware of when VectorVest sees the market bottom, what kinds of stocks are best suited for that situation, and even what kinds of stop losses tend to work quite well to help manage those trades. We'll then move more into high momentum, and then we'll eventually move into just safer stocks as the market becomes, as the rally becomes more mature, right? And you kind of get to that last stage before a market pullback, like where we are now. Okay, we're in the pullback, been in the pullback for a while. We'll even teach you a little bit about how to cope with those and even profit from market corrections. Okay, so it really covers all of the bases there. You might say, gee whiz, that seems like a lot of ground to cover in an hour. Well, we can do it pretty cleanly and pretty clearly and give you some pretty good plans in that amount of time. Okay, we'll have a cocktail reception. That'll be a cash bar, but light hors d'oeuvres are served. For those of you at home, please know that we can't possibly get those to you. But of course, you're in the comfort of your own home, so I'm sure you can take care of oneself. So at 5 o'clock, we do have a special presentation from Dr. David Paul, A Complete Approach to Short-Term Swing Trading. So that one's going to be blockbuster. Enough so that we've made it a highlight. And then that'll take us into day 2 after I just quickly show, this is from Jim. This is some recent performance here from his ruler stocks portfolio. And you've got some little old stocks in there like NVIDIA, Wire, Louisiana Pacific, Micron. Those are the kinds of stocks that you're going to be dealing with over there in retirement services, particularly on the capital appreciation side, because NVIDIA doesn't pay a dividend, does it? Right? But boy, it's a great stock to own, So that's just one piece, though. You're going to learn about how you can really amplify things by going with the high dividend, well, not just high dividend yield, but getting some of the higher paying dividend yielders that are still safe dividend and so on. Okay. And then on top of that, some options income to boot. So Jim goes through all of that. He also goes through the defensive tactics to make your retirement portfolio completely worry-free. And that's going to be with use of buying some insurance. And in some cases, maybe even offsetting expense of that insurance you have to pay for with options, to make it a little bit more palatable. And boy, in a time like the last couple of weeks, if you don't know how to do portfolio insurance and you don't know how to do it low cost, boy, it's it'll resonate with you how low cost it actually can be and how influential it can be on your portfolio performance when you can offset potential losses that might have accrued over the last week and a half in the stock market, right? So that'll be a handy thing to talk about. All right, and then let's see, day 2 morning. Day 2 morning, we have breakfast again at 8:30, 9 a.m. start. We're going to be talking all about swing trading. Swing trading by way of moving averages, swing trading by way of volume analysis. But maybe one of the more impactful ones is going to be this finding hot stocks for explosive profits. If anybody watches our daily color guard report, you've probably been intrigued at least by the hot stock picks that we've been putting out there every single day. We are going to show an automated way to trade those stocks that has been very, 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 very good. I'll show you a graphic on that here in a second. And then Ron Wheeler is going to come in to close out that segment by showing you how you can reduce exposure by way of using options and actually even amplify returns with low-cost precision swing trading. Okay, so this is the hot stocks portfolio. It's up 180% since we started looking at this and deploying it, and that's in about 17 calendar months, a little over 17, almost 18 calendar months at this point. Okay. So really, really tremendous growth. You can see it just shoots up the page there. From time to time, it really heats up. And it's been pretty steady. Not a lot of heavy drawdown. All right, so we're going to show you how you can do that. This is a little excerpt from the coaching group for swing trading. This is implementing the tactics that we're talking about that morning. And again, it's a recent example here, but it just goes to show that we're kind of meeting and exceeding the goals that we set forth for one another. Swing trading is trying to shoot more towards 30% a year type of performance. And here, 7% in a month certainly can get you there. So, all right, let's see. Tampa 2-day investment seminar, day 2 afternoon. So this is where we round third base and come home. Ron Wheeler is going to show you, and everybody who's been in Ron Wheeler's classes know he's a great options instructor. So on top of showing you a low-cost, explosive swing trading options play, he's going to be showing you another way to produce income. And in this case, a simple approach for income. Okay. We will then, in that final presentation, wrap things up and make sure that when you leave the doors, we're going to try to help you identify with one of the 3 main types of investors or traders that we've covered in the course. One was successful investor, right? Shooting for about 15% a year, get you there, no problem. The other was retirement services. We can kick it up a notch by getting some additional income and some options exposure, right? We also talked to the swing trader, okay, and how you can even ramp that up with options. So we will help you identify with, and hopefully you will identify as you go through the course with one or maybe more that can be of use to you. For example, I run 3 portfolios for myself. I've got a 401k where I do high relative safety stocks. I've got 50% of that, 401k self-directed. I just use high relative safety stocks and some simple money management tactics. I've got another one where I ride the wave and try to really grow that smaller denomination of capital more quickly. And I've got another one where I do options. So I've got the 3, but you'll be learning about all 3 of them. You can pick one or more. I would say if you're brand new to VectorVest, you probably start with the successful investor and kind of work your way through, but if you've been with VectorVest for years and years, you can probably get away from this 2-day event really knowing how to do all of them. You really can. Dr. DeLito has said many times you get about 10 years of experience from going to this course. You really do. I mean, you really, really do. We cover a lot of ground. All right, so I reckon you knew it was coming. It's time for the choice. The choice is continue to do it alone or do it fast. What do you think I'm going to tell you to do it fast? That's right. I'm going to tell you go to Tampa. But there's no such thing as you can't do it. If I listened to all the people over the years that told me I couldn't do something, I wouldn't have amounted to very much, Wouldn't have had a chance to play football through Europe and all these fun places and play on national teams. I wouldn't have had the ability to work for VectorVest and public speak, which I'm nearly flunked out of speech class in college, the whole bit. And you can do anything you want to do. The thing is, you got to want it. If you want it, you can do it. You'd be surprised what you can do if you want to do something, but you got to want to do it. That's the only thing I can't do. I can teach you the how, the why, and the how, but I can't make you want it. So hopefully some of the things that you saw in here have inspired you to at least want to give it a go. And if you do, we can help. Old Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. So that's what we're going to do in Tampa. We're going to show you how to sharpen the axe. It's going to take a little more than 4 hours. It's going to take 2 days. Okay, but 2 days for a lifetime makes a lot of sense to me. Same message. 2 days to set you up for the rest of your life. Sounds like a deal, particularly when it's only $195. Now, last week when I did this webcast, it was $95. That price is no longer valid. Just like I told them last week, that's going to be the lowest price ever. And I mean, like this year, next year, 10 years from now, $95, it'll never be cheaper than that. It can't be. That's a loss for us, actually, on a per registrant basis. $195, you're basically breaking even. So my main point, though, is going to be don't pay $495. There's at least one person in this room right now that's going to end up paying $495. How do I know? It happens every year. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been to 18 of these courses myself, and I see the lists. Don't let that be you. Okay? Now's the time. If you didn't get the 95, it's $195 now. I'm going to put some links out into the chat, then we'll take some questions here at the end, okay? So there's 2 links. One, the top one, says www.vectorvest.com/Tampa. That'll take you to the in-person. And then you have VectorVest.com/Tampa stream. That'll take you to the live stream, the one that says stream, okay? So if you click the top one, it'll take you right out here with your browser, right to a place where it says 2022 Tampa 2-day investment seminar. Top left corner, notice the little earmark up there. It says in person. See that pink? It says in person up there. That's how you know I want to sign up for one of those last 12 spots. Okay. All right, good. So over here to the right, you can click on purchase course now, and then you'll be able to go see us there. Now this price is only good for the next 5. This price is only good for the next 5 days, 7 hours, 1 minute, and 42 seconds. And it will go higher. But guess what? It'll probably go to $295. Okay, so we were 95, now we're 195, 295, right? So don't let that happen, okay? Hopefully all that turkey has worked itself through the system, all the tryptophan is out of there, and you're able to do what you need to do. All right, and then if you click the other one, Tampa Stream, it's going to look almost identical. That's why I point out the earmarks in the top of the image. This one's gold, and it says live stream. Okay, makes it real simple. When you get down into the text, you can also discover if you're in the right place down there. There's also an agenda. We did go through the agenda lightly. You can peruse it more carefully if you like here. There's also a little bit more in the description. There's some things that we didn't mention, like $100 voucher towards any product or service if you attend the event. Okay, so that's a nice little thank you there as well. And virtually that means then you attend for $95 in this case. See, the people last week can attend for a credit. You missed out on that one. Oh, man. All right, well, don't let it get away from you here. It's still a really great deal. Let's face it, $495 is a great deal. We've got courses that go up to almost $4,000, right? I'm going to tell you what. You'll be surprised how great this course is for just $195 at this point. When I say you can leave this event from these 2 days and know exactly what you need to do Monday following the event to make money in the stock market, I mean it. Okay, and you can do that for $195. So I'm going to take some questions now, see if there are any. For those on YouTube, I can't take questions there. But yeah, you guys know what to do. I'm going to put the links on your screen here really quick. And so you'll have www.vectorvest.com/Tampa or www.vectorvest.com/Tampa stream, depending on which one you would prefer to do. Okay, depending on which one you would prefer to do. Elite status is how much off? Elite status is, the event is $495. So elite status is half of $495, which I believe is $247.50. So that is a higher price than this one. This is a webcast special. So no, I mean, you don't get half off the 195. Okay. So do this deal now. It's cheaper than Elite Status. And last week it was a lot cheaper. Okay. All right, let's see here. I only see the link for the stream. There's 2 links in there. I'll put the in-person in one more time by itself. It may be a resolution type thing. So there's the one that takes you right to Tampa. Okay. All right, let's see. Are you sharing? Yes, we shared screen. All right. Well, let me see if there's any further questions here. It looks like we've covered it all. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for attending. And hopefully we see you in Tampa. I can't wait. It's going to be great to put some faces with some names and all that fun stuff. All right. We'll see you soon. See you then. Got to go.